Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. We're continuing our look at the new Mego monsters, looking at them individually instead of my old way of doing it, where I would take 6 or 8 new figures and spend 90 minutes going over each one. I thought with these, we'd look at each one individually, but it's not really saving a lot of time because I find that I can talk for 30 or 40 minutes on one figure. So let's look at good old Chucky. Now this one's been out for a while, but yeah, I only bought it recently because I tried to catch up with all the Mego monsters and bought every one that was out there at one time. And they're kind of broken up into 3 shipments, and what I'm showing you so far is the first shipment. I should have... Oh, I have the Universal... I'm supposed to have the Universal Frankenstein's Bride, and I think the Wolfman. I think all the Universals are supposed to be on their way to me. I was notified that they were. So, but this one is from... This Chucky is from last year, actually. This is from last... Oh, I want to say November. I think it came out in November. But I wasn't really in a hurry to get Chucky. I'm just not particularly a Chucky fan. Here's the back. That's a nice picture of Chucky back there. Does it say... Yeah, so it says Chucky. It doesn't say Child's Play. It says Chucky. And of course the movie is called Child's Play. The character's Chucky. I wonder if it's a situation like Friday the 13th, where the rights to the title Friday the 13th got separated from the rights to Jason. So at some point they had to stop using the Friday the 13th title and just call it Jason 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Lives, Jason Goes to Hell. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just noting that well, this is interesting. So it does say Child's Play, but it's very small in that little box right there. See that? So it does say Child's Play in that little box. That's the only place where it says Child's Play. It says Chucky at the top, then Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky. But not the first Child's Play. It's conspicuously absent. So there's obviously some rights issue or licensing issue that separates that first film from the rest of the franchise. I know that there was a remake. Maybe that has something to do with it. There was a Child's Play remake. And there's a Child's Play TV series. I think the TV series, I don't know if it's aired yet or not. I'm not sure. But it was based on the original series and the original look of Chucky. The remake was completely different. Brand new interpretation of Chucky. So maybe it's something to do with that remake. Separated the licensing rights, so they couldn't use the title Child's Play. The figure itself, I think, is from Bride of Chucky. Is that the first time where he has the stitches? I think so. I think Bride of Chucky is the first one where we see this kind of Frankenstein look, where he's got all is he stitched? Yeah, he is. You can see the stitches. So he has a kind of Frankenstein look, all stitched up. So I think the first time he looks like that is Bride of Chucky. But I'm not a Chucky expert. I've seen the first one a long, long time ago. And I think I've seen parts of Bride of Chucky. And I think that's it. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. So I'm not a Chucky expert by any means. I like the character. I don't dislike the character, but I'm just not particularly a fan. I don't get excited about Chucky. You know, I don't get excited about a lot of those 80s characters. I don't get excited about Jason. I don't get excited about Pinhead. I don't even really get excited about Michael Myers. I love the first Halloween. That's one of my favorite horror movies. But it's the movie I like. I'm not. I like Michael Myers from that first film because I like that first film. But Michael Myers in subsequent films, I like this Halloween 2 only because it still has some of the flavor of the first one. But like later, like 4, 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, I don't care for that. So it's not the character of Michael Myers that excites me. It's that first movie and the quality of that first movie that makes me a fan. With Pinhead, I like the first Hellraiser. I like the second Hellraiser. Some people think the second one's better than the first. I don't know. I can see why they think that, but they're kind of comparable to me. And I've seen parts of the other ones, enough to know I don't really want to see the whole film beyond the second Hellraiser. There's other Hellraisers that I don't need to see. I've seen scenes from the other ones enough to know I can let those go. So, but it's not Pinhead that I like particularly. It's the movie Hellraiser 1 and 2. The movies I like, not that character especially. And I don't dislike him, but I'm not like, oh wow, I really love Pinhead. No. Jason, I'm just not a big Friday the 13th franchise fan at all. I like I was going to say I like the first film. Do I really like the first film? I don't mind the first film. Third film is kind of fun, the 3D one. I mean, they all have their moments, but I've never been blown away by a Friday the 13th movie. It's not near and dear to me at all. I like Candyman. I like that movie, but again, it's the movie that I like. The character is great too, but it's not any mystique about the character so much as it is the movie. And thinking about, like, is an example of a modern horror character that I like Hannibal Lecter. I like that character. I love Silence of the Lambs. That's a masterpiece. But I also like Ridley Scott's Hannibal, which a lot of people don't like. And I think part of it is the character of Hannibal. And even Red Dragon, that is a little more pedestrian compared to the previous two. Still, it's got Hopkins as Hannibal. So I like the character of Hannibal Lecter. I know the Hannibal TV show has a huge following. That character obviously resonates with people. And of course, he's more than a slasher monster. You know, he's a guy in a mask or whatever. Maybe it's not really comparing apples to apples there. But it's hard to think of a modern horror character that's really near and dear to me the way, like, Universal Frankenstein, Karloff Frankenstein, or Bela Dracula, or Cheney Wolfman, or the Creature from the Black Lagoon, or the Hammer Dracula, or Hammer Werewolf, Curse of the Werewolf. Those monsters, King Kong, Godzilla, from really from the silent days, the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, into the 60s. Those classic monsters are very near and dear to me. I can't think of any, including Hannibal, I can't think of any modern horror monster that important to me. The 70s are kind of a transition period, so I love Jaws. I love Jaws. I love Bruce the Shark. And Halloween, the first one, is from the 70s. That's a 70s movie. I like Alien a lot, and I like the Alien from that first film. That's a 70s movie. So 70s is kind of the place where I disembark. After the 70s, I kind of get off the train after that. Not that I don't love a lot of 80s films. You know, I like Reanimator a lot. I like The Thing and The Fly remake and Creepshow, and there's a lot of 80s horror that I like. But as far as characters, I like Herbert West from Reanimator. That's a great character. When Jeffrey Combs plays him, and so far I think he's the only person who has played him on the screen. So that's a great character. But again, that's not really a monster. That's a mad doctor. So all this is to say, no, Chucky's not near and dear to my heart, but neither is almost any other horror character from the 80s forward. When I think of the horror characters who are really important to me, most of them are almost 100 years old and up to like maybe 40 or 50 years old. Once you get past that, it's really hard for me to care in a very emotional way about a horror character. It's just not, they don't mean that much to me. I like some of the movies for sure, but I don't pick up on a certain character to the point where it doesn't really matter whether the movie's good or bad. It's the character that I'm following. I don't really feel that way about hardly any modern horror characters. But what can we say about this Chucky? I don't know what to say about him. Overall, the costume's very nice. I mean, it's a very, very well done costume. I was kind of bemoaning the Ultraman costume in the last episode that I uploaded. I don't always upload these in order, but the last one that I uploaded as of this recording was Ultraman, and I had some issues with that costume. So I don't have any issues with Chucky's costume. It's a very detailed and well done. I have no idea if these colors are correct. For all I know, they could be all wrong. I don't know. But it just looks good. I mean, it looks like a nice costume. I like the suspenders, and is this embroidery? Or is it printed? It's printed on, I think. I can't really tell with my naked eye. Maybe when I'm editing, I'll be able to tell, but I can't tell just looking at it. But it looks really good. I mean, he could have had rooted hair, perhaps. That might have helped. But, it's good the way it is. So the only issue with him, and it is a big issue. It's not a small matter. It's a big issue. And I think you can tell just right off the bat what it is. The body type. It's a Mego child body, which makes sense. I mean, what else were they going to use? But it's not really right, because Chucky isn't a child. Chucky is a doll. Chucky doesn't have human proportions, even child proportions. Chucky is a doll. So I think if they had just made the legs shorter, if they'd made unique legs for him, I think that might have helped. But ideally, he would have had shorter legs, shorter arms. I don't know if they needed to change the torso so much, but shorter legs and arms would have helped to make him look more like a doll. Instead of because right now he looks like a child dressed up as Chucky. He looks like a cosplay where a child or a little person, someone of small stature, or or even an adult, because the only way we know this is a child body is in comparison to the 8-inch Megos. If they didn't make any 8-inch figures and they just showed you this, you wouldn't just look at it and automatically know it was a child body. So it looks like someone cosplaying as Chucky, like they're wearing a mask and they got this costume. To make it really look like Chucky, the monster, the character, it needed something different with the arms and legs to make them shorter, to make it look more like a doll that's come to life, which is what Chucky is. Chucky is a toy, a doll that has come to life. He has the spirit of a killer living inside the doll. Now in the remake, that's different. It's a artificial intelligence run amok kind of a thing. But in the original series, which is what this is from, it's a killer possessing a doll. So it might have been nice to... I can understand why they didn't do that, because if they made like a unique body for Chucky, when would they ever use that again? It would just be to use that one time. Yeah, that's not really economical. I understand that. They wouldn't have made a unique body just for Chucky. Probably not even unique limbs just for Chucky if they were never going to use it for anything else. So I get that. Using the child body was the most logical thing to do. But it does hurt the figure because it doesn't really look like Chucky. It doesn't really look like a doll. It looks like a person dressed as Chucky. So that's an issue. I don't know how much of a deal breaker that is, because I'm not a Chucky fan. So I don't really know how a Chucky fan would look at this. Would they see the proportions and say, that's not right, or would they not care? I don't know. The more I look at it, the more it really does look like a person dressed as Chucky. It's a shame because the costume is really good. It's a really good costume. And again, I think all they needed to do would have been just shorten the legs. I don't think they needed to touch the arms. I think shorter legs would have done it if they had just used shorter legs. If they made unique legs for Chucky, I think that would have taken care of it. Imagine the shoes like right there. I think that would have done it. Yeah, so it's a nice figure. It's got that issue with the size, the body format, which is understandable, but it's an issue. The card's nice. I like the card with it's good use of artwork. It's one of their better cards, actually. Let's take a look at that card. It's the way the artwork is placed here, filling this space and the title, and then you have a different. Is that a different image? Yeah, it is, because his eyes are different. So the way his eyes are, his gaze is different. See there, he's looking straight at you there. The lighting's different. The direction of his eyes is different. So that's a nice card. So the way it fills the back is cool. I like that look. I like the way it's a different color temperature. It's a cooler temperature here. It's darker. That's good. So it's a good card. Good costume. I like the head sculpt. Maybe it could have had rooted hair, but that's okay. The only issue is that body type. Just if it had been a shorter, stubbier body, it would have really sold the character. So that's that. I mean, I'm not really a Chucky fan, so I don't know what else to say about that. All right, I think that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember, the one who dies with the most toys is dead.